Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday, guys. As we sail on into the weekend, we are going to turn things a little bit more active in the Northeast after a couple-day tranquil period here. And it's just one active location across the lower 48. So here's the situation going into tonight. Actually, a complex storm system. We have two areas of low pressure we're following. One coming in from the west. Another one is going to move northward up the eastern seaboard. So from this evening into tonight, we'll actually increase that chance for a steadier rain along the Interstate 95 corridor with some showers extending a little farther to the north. Into tonight, there could be a little icy mix here throughout, say, parts of upstate New York, the interior regions. I think if you're in Boston, Providence, or Hartford, once the precipitation gets to you, it'll likely stay in the form of all rain. And this continues to move northward into tomorrow, and we are looking at another round of snow for places like Bangor, Maine, Caribou, going to be shoveling here as we get into our Sunday. Area of low pressure continues to strengthen off the coast, so plenty of Atlantic moisture to work with. The cold air follows that other low pressure system, so we start to turn things over to all snow, central northern Maine into parts of the White Mountains. So snow totals, Bangor, we're looking at about 3 to 6 inches of snow just to the north, and then just to the northeast there will be some slightly higher totals where we see the darker blue. You can see that area of 3 to 6 extending into parts of Vermont and New Hampshire. Now, as the colder air continues to rush in, we're going to turn that lake effect snow machine back on. Downwind of Lake Superior, downwind of Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, all of those places we'll see it return, although I don't really think it kicks into higher gear until late in the weekend and early next week. And look at the cold air. We've had a little warm up here. In fact, across the Northeast today, temperatures well above normal in many locations. But starting tomorrow, the Arctic air is going to dive south across the Canadian, United States border through the Great Lakes by Sunday. It makes it to the East Coast by Monday. We're talking about high temperatures in some of the big cities, only staying in the 20s. And there will be a wind we deal with as well. And then it stays in place through Tuesday. Just to give you an idea of this chill. We'll show this to you, not to scare anybody, but just to give you an idea of this chill. Saturday night, AccuWeather real feel temps here from Bismarck as we head into parts of South Dakota, down to Omaha, and then back into parts of the western Great Lakes. In some cases, feeling like it's 20 or even 30 degrees below zero for those AccuWeather real feels. Now, it's not going to be quite this extreme when it makes it to the East Coast. This air mass will modify somewhat. But if you're not a fan of the cold, you got a couple of slightly warmer days coming up, and then we'll make it feel like January again. And this will turn the lake effect snow back on in many of those primary and secondary snow belts.
We had a couple people asking, maybe talking about a little warmer temps in the south. They were wondering if any snow for in the south or...
Yeah, at this point, it looks like mostly seeing rain today, and then that's going to move up and become part of our northeast storm system. Some of the rain today, Georgia into the Carolinas, will be heavy into parts of Florida, dealing with some strong thunderstorms, at least through the early afternoon hours. And then we're going to see another storm system push in tomorrow into Sunday, follow a similar track from Texas. That'll move into the Florida area and then up the East Coast as we go into the second half of the weekend, early next week, again providing another round of rain. At that point, some of the higher elevations, say North Georgia and East Tennessee, some of the Smokies could see a few flurries or a little bit of a mix, but doesn't look like anything too huge in terms of the wintry precipitation, at least not at this point, but stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. And then we had a couple questions about weather in the Midwest area.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of some freezing drizzle reported so far this morning in parts of northern Wisconsin into the upper peninsula of Michigan. No huge snowfall coming with that, but temperatures, yeah, a little bit borderline. Could be some slick spots there. And then as far as the west is concerned, we'll touch on that briefly too while we're doing the round robin here in the United States.
Sure.
Some snow coming down in the Rockies a little bit later on today. Some locations pick up 6 to 10 inches in the higher elevations. Areas of the Wasatch, places like Snowbird have picked up some fresh snow, some good powder there. The Sierra Nevada continue to add on the fresh powder, and the west is going to stay incredibly active with rain in the far lower elevations and coastal regions and more snow in the Sierra Nevada. In fact, as we go into next week, say Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, some locations there, the higher elevations, say above 5,000 or 6,000 feet, will be measuring their snow in feet. So very active there. And of course, all that snow is great not only for the skiers, but it will help to add to some of that snowpack so the spring melt is a little bit more sufficient.
All right, Laura, thanks so much. It says 42 and rain right now in Indiana from Cindy Glenn, she said. Well, thanks for updating us, Cindy, here. And thank you very much, Laura, for updating us on this Friday on Periscope.
Sure thing, guys. Have a good weekend.